Hey people, it's Danny here with another investing episode. So yeah, we got things got pretty crazy. There was a huge dip on PSEC, and I did buy it. I bought it in three different accounts. Um, kind of had to decide where my limit is on this sort of thing. And I ended up at about $32,000 into this stock. And then I decided that's my limit. So I'm not gonna, maybe in the future if I'm doing well enough, maybe that limit will increase a little bit. But at this time, yeah, we're not gonna go above 32,000. So yeah, so it's got a crazy dip. So I think we should just explain what's going on. So somebody wrote an article. I don't really know much about it. About how the dividend is funded by selling shares and selling debt. Well, you know, that's a pretty big accusation. Um, and now, I mean, selling shares and selling debt, obviously, those should be reasons to do more investment. You know, um, and this is just, entertainment, not financial advice, just so you know. I don't have that disclaimer on my this video, but you'll see it in the rest of the videos. Um, you and you alone are responsible for your decisions. But anyway, my thoughts on that is, you know, that's a pretty big accusation. But if they are selling debt to only pay the dividend and sell stock to only pay the dividend, we should see some interesting things going on. I think we should see a bad price book. We don't see a bad price book. I mean, some people are a little worried that the assets are overvalued, but actually the price book is extremely good. If that's like, you know, um, sort of indicating that if they did a sale of everything, um, this company, would be worth, you know, probably like $9. If they sold everything and distributed to everybody, it'd be worth like $9. So that's just, I mean, spitballing that number, but I think that's about right, because it's not quite twice. Quite twice would be like 950. But I think it's about right that price book, Yeah, and even if you say, well, maybe they couldn't get all of that, maybe it's a little bit high. Let's say we discount that by 25%, take that and spitball $9, reduce it down, I think we're still talking like, seven-ish or something. It's that's one thing is that if they were literally doing that, uh, I mean, this is my gut, is the price book would be bad. Other things would happen too. Is that we should see a bad debt equity ratio, but in fact, the debt equity ratio is pretty low. I mean, a lot of good stocks have a debt equity ratio of one or more. Um, I don't know. I mean, maybe I'm a little wrong on those numbers. I mean, what people consider good. I mean, I tend to like to invest in industries that tend to be higher debt. But anyway, point, 46 debt equity. That doesn't really the numbers here don't really jive to me. You know, the money coming in is not being reinvested in the business. I mean, yes, the business does pay out a huge amount. It is, um, it is a business development company, so it is required to pay out 90% of its dividends because it doesn't pay a government tax. And so that's one of the things too is I'm not even sure like does the author even understand the industry that they're looking at. The company is literally required to pay out 90%. So if they're taking on debt, selling shares to gain investments, um, it's just about, you know, I don't know. But anyway, that's where we are. Obviously, returns haven't suffered too much, because I did continue to take some profits on various things. Things went a little crazy. I don't even think it's on the slide. One of the ships I bought or stocks I bought is ECO as a shipping stock. I actually sold it before earnings for a decent profit. I don't even think you even see that on here. I owned it so few days. I wanted to keep one share, um, but in some of my other accounts I kept some shares. But I thought I had 11 shares, and so I sold 10, and then it turned out I only had 10, so it's completely gone. There's no history that I ever even had it from these. Oh no, there it is. There's the ECO. You see that 30 shares in there. I think I had more like 45 at one point, but there it is. That's a shipping company, I think from Greece. Um, I did buy another shipping company, Eurovision, CMBT. I really liked the sort of numbers I was seeing, and I thought, hey, it's pre-earnings. I got a good gut on it. Um, and as far as I can tell, they had a good earning report, and then the stock is down 3 cents on the day, which I mean, it's okay. I kind of figured maybe I'd get a little bit of a pop, but maybe it wasn't good enough to make people more or less excited about it. But anyway, they did have a good quarter. So you know, um, yeah, I guess maybe it just wasn't. You know, they had 90, 95% shares earnings. Yeah, I have a much bigger position on that in some other portfolios than this one, but obviously the crazy thing is we got in pretty bigly deep. So that's early in the week. This slide, I had a lot of Wells Fargo preferred. It did go up a lot. I sold all of it. Um, I really did not intend to. Stuff got crazy. My PSEC position went from, in this account, 171 shares up to now 2,701 shares. Um, where I'm sitting looking at the numbers right now, I am, yeah, it's pretty, sort of pretty whopping, uh, whopping the amount, down. I'm down $385, but on the other hand, I have sold options against it, um, 27 call options, which expire in September, um, sort of late September. But those call options, I guess you can see at that point I'm at 18. But yeah, I don't know if you see the final pictures on any of these. Oh, there's the one. That's one of the final pictures. That's 27. Um, I mean, so yeah, I mean that's you know, 27 options. That's quite a lot. 657. So the options are worth far more than it's dropped so far. It feels like it's stabilized. Yeah, the yield is pretty high. What are we talking about now based on this yield? Um, hmm. Obviously, I guess the sort of sort of thought behind that article is that the yield is unsustainable. We're all gonna be left with a handbasket. Um, the yield where it stands is 14.66. Obviously, if you just throw, when my options expire, if it doesn't go back up, because you know, the difference between, the current price and my options is quite a lot. I don't know how much that pushes me up, but probably pushes, you know, if we if you think of it that way, in a way it pushes me, probably to 16% plus yield. Uh, and then I can try to resell more options. But obviously, I think we're just gonna have to see where this one shakes out. I think I've definitely, ideally, I was wanting to ride the shipping boom. Um, at this point, it feels like I've just kind of locked myself down. Um, I mean, I could do other things to move more around and whatnot, but I feel like I've kind of committed myself and probably just play it pretty cool and just let things roll. Um, I've got a nice position in Hercules, then a nice position, a position pretty big in Golub Capital. I don't know if I pronounced that right. Um, just roll with those, I guess. I got also a pretty big position in Blue Owl. All of those are going to pay out a dividend this month. It's going to be quite a lot. Um, these are all business development companies. So this has turned into kind of a business development company. We got one shipping company in here. Um, what is NLY? I guess that's an MREIT, mortgage REIT, I think. So it's basically turned into mostly a business development company portfolio at this time. Um, we got a little bit of MREIT and some shipping companies, and then just a touch of things I'm holding for tracking. Um, I did sell off some of the ones that aren't just going to be useful for tracking because I'm always going to be watching like the ZIM and QYLD. And I have positions in other portfolios on those. So anyway, that's where we are. I don't know how many like videos there will be, in the next few weeks. Because frankly, if it could just become locked in right here, you know what I'm saying? Um, because if I'm locked in right here, you know, and it's just in this range of of where it is now, the 4.8 to 4.9 range, and we're running with options for 40 days on that. We're kind of locked in on that, unless I can sell the option at a good price. That will give me a little bit of flexibility. Um, for example, let's say, well, I don't think let's say I really wanted to get out. If I sold the option and sold the stock, but I have to get a good price in the option, a really good price. Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. But yeah, I mean, there's some interesting things going on with it. I might see if depending if I can sell this option to buy a different option. Um, but has to be a pretty good price because yeah, the option is sort of my cover on this whole thing, because when it expires, I mean, obviously if it doesn't fall too far, that's kind of what saves my ass. Well, that's that. I don't know if I'm gonna beat that anymore. And again, yeah, I don't know if I'm gonna, have any videos anytime soon, but you never know. Things change very quickly. Do feel there's some interesting stuff going on here. I'm not sure what people are doing, but there's definitely some heavy traders in there, I think. That's what it feels like to me. There's some heavy traders in here. Now, what their intent is, what their goal is, I don't know. I would not be surprised if this thing does rip back up above 5 at some point, but you never know. I don't know what they're thinking, what they're doing, what their plans are. See where it goes. All right. Um, Hopefully that we have some updates because if I have a video next week or the week after, that'll be a good thing. If it's like a month, like 40 days until the next video, that'll just kind of mean we got locked in here. We're just sitting on our hands, which is not bad when, I I would say fundamentally I don't think the sky is falling on this one, even though there's a lot of that reaction. Um, and when you're sitting, on 14% yield, plus, like I was saying with the option, to me it's kind of like more like I've bought 16% yield here. And then, if it does, expire, then I can sell it again. And, I mean, I know that, that's a way of looking at it. There are different ways of looking at it, but, we'll see where it goes, see where the chips fall. I mean, there are going to be earnings too coming up at some point. When are these earnings for this one? I don't know. Not that far away. It's like, let me see. I don't think they have an exact date, but it's the 27th to the September 2nd is the estimate. So I don't think we have an exact date lockdown. But actually, I guess we're 3 weeks from earnings, so that's gonna be interesting too to see how they respond to all of this. Um, you know, I mean, I think this will turn out well in the long run for me, but that's my gut. Um, we'll see what happens. I guess that's why we play this game. If we all knew exactly what would happen ahead of time, there would be no reason to even invest, right? I think that's a true statement. But yeah, it is the uncertainty that leads to the game, so to speak. All right, so we're gonna cut this so we don't ramble on for another 40 minutes. All right, have a good one, peeps. Let's hope that it goes well. There are more videos, more updates. If not, it could be a while if we get really locked in here. It's even sagging a little more now, so this feels like this one could be a few months in here, maybe a few years, and hopefully not a few years, but maybe it will be the best years ever if I can just collect the dividend and sell options. Maybe not, probably not, but we'll see. We'll see where it goes. That's why we're here. All right, take care, guys.